Well, I taped this off best I could. I pulled my alternator out so I could get to it, and taped up where I didn't want to get the paint. And I got a probably too good of a wet coat on there, but I'll let that dry and then I'll cover it a little more. I still haven't pulled my header off, but it all looks good. I might take a little wire brush to my alternator here and clean it up a little. And I need to put another spring in this top fan. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or not, because it might hit that fan that's inside there. Not sure. And putting this in is going to be a lot of fun. I might be able to get this top bolt from the top. I can probably reach these two bottom ones. I didn't want to do anything until I was certain that all the wires are good in here. But just trying to clean it up a bit. I still don't know really what I'm going to do about those mufflers. I think I'd be better off just buying a couple pieces of straight exhaust pipe and running them out, because it'll be a lot of work to try to chop up what I've got here to make it fit. And pipes shouldn't cost too much, like 50 bucks maybe. And then I'll have a good exhaust system in it. I still got to clean up that bell housing there. I haven't really bolted my floorboard in, so I can get to that. This just takes a lot of time, cleaning up stuff like this, making it look good. I tried starting it and running it again today. It's flooding out. I don't know what it is. I changed needles in it, but they're just a few thousandths difference than the ones I had. But I'm pretty sure that it's just the float levels are too high, and probably the fuel pressure's blowing them open. So I won't do anything with trying to get this thing running anymore. It's running really rich and fouling the plugs. I'll wait until I get a pressure regulator on it. But in the meantime, no shortage of work. I'll let this dry real good. Hit it with another coat and pulled my tape off. Looks like I got some areas that sprayed my belt there a little. But I got it good all the way down in there. That fuel pump, I still don't know whether I'll take that off or what, but I couldn't really spray it very good. I didn't try it from underneath. Oh yeah, looks like I could probably do that. Let's see what I can get done here. Just pouring it on. Painting by run. Yeah, it looks like I got some up on the bottom from there. I'm just feeding the run here. Well, that's orange enough. Yeah, I'd pull that fuel pump off there and clean it up. There's no way that's going to ever look right. But I still have to pull the headers off and clean up all this area. But I'll get a little place up under the water too. I won't be able to do this without. There we go. Yeah, I got that. It just looks better, it's all. Not trying to get it perfect, but did get quite a bit of paint on it. I gotta clean this whole manifold up here. I did order an orange cap for it. These are brand new plug wires, but I think I can clean this manifold up pretty good with a rag and a stick or something. Make it look pretty good. It's not leaking oil or gas or anything. And this little piece is probably ought to paint it silver. I got some silver here somewhere, right there. That's just a piece of pipe. I don't know where I got it. This is spray enamel. That's good enough. That's what I painted my exhaust pipes with. It's not chrome or anything, but it'll look pretty good when it's done. Just do a lot of these little details and it's going to look nice. I need to pull that bracket off there, I guess. I used to mount my alternator. Probably ought to clean it up. I've got a heater hose bent over there. I've been thinking about getting a little heater to put in here, but right now I just plugged it so the water will recirculate. But I need to clean that bracket up, paint it black. Master cylinder was painted black and a silver lid, so it looks pretty good. And of course I got a lot of wires here I still got to sort out, but little by little cleaning it up. That took quite a bit of doing, but I was able to cut me up some pieces here. That's going to be coming out of the header here, goes up over the cross member. I just not much to explain there. Took quite a bit of cutting pieces and trimming them and tacking them and crawling in and out, but I think this is good. It's going to clear the cross member, and now I just have to weld it up. Well, that's pretty much it. Getting better at this welding. Getting used to the welder. I was running at 60 amps, 15 volts. So now I take my flapper disc and clean this up and see if I got any pinholes. Oh, that was pretty good. I had 3 little pinholes in it, and so I welded them up, ground it again, used my super fancy paint here. I had another piece that I was trying to use, but it didn't work out, and this did. It's not of course the best in the world. I wouldn't even say it was super good, but it is good enough. The big end here is really big. I'm going to have to do something about that. And of course I'll have to figure out what kind of straight pipe that I'm going to use there to go over the cross member. I'm going to paint my chipping hammer so I can find it too. Yeah, fell right into my paint again. Not good enough for that. I'll not mess with it anymore. Looks like I could have patched a couple more little holes in there, but they don't go all the way through, and I'm not too fond of trying to use welding rod as Bondo. That's good enough. Let's see, I believe let's go up over. I don't know if that's on the inside or outside. Doesn't make any difference. Looks pretty good. I wish I had fixed that hole there a little better though. Good enough for now. Well, here's my driver's side. This is looking at it from the bottom. I welded it all up and threw some paint on it. Looks pretty good. I can get this in there in one piece, and then I'll have to clamp my tailpipe extension in the back. The other one, the way it went in, I couldn't put the muffler on it at the same time. I don't know if you can see it up in there, but because of the way that this is bent, it's a real sharp angle, so I have to put the muffler on it after I put the pipe on. So this one will clamp to the tailpipe and also clamp to the header there. But the driver's side, like I say, it'll go in one piece. I painted this a while ago. Should be dry by now. I don't have any clamps. I do have some hangers though, but we'll put it up in there and see if I can hang it. Well, both pipes are in. Both mufflers are in. They're pretty level. And I got 5 feet of pipe in both of them. Nothing is clamped, it's just sitting here. But they don't look too bad. Look pretty close on there. They will fit. Show you where the pipes come out. They're sitting right on the axle right now and up against the shock. I probably need to bend them over a little more. I got some turnouts. I think I'm going to put the turnout up here somewhere, right behind the muffler. But they're in pretty good, and everything looks all straight up in here. Can't really see that one too well, but of course I still have to tweak them a bit. But basically the pipes are in. That one over there is still crushed, but that shouldn't make much difference. So I guess I'll fire it up and see what it sounds like. Well, still flooding, but I should be able to at least get it fired up. Probably won't be able to hear much from that camera, but I should tell the difference. Got a little better setup for the camera. It's much quieter than it was. Of course, open headers is always going to be loud. On idling, I've got a clamp on my gas line. I think my pipes are still in. Yep. And see if I can get you a shot of the back. See what this sounds like. I can smell it's way rich, even with the hose clamped off. I didn't close it all the way, I'm sure, but should be at least hear what it sounded like. Slaving away on this, I put the exhaust on, and I was getting a lot of smoke out of it, gas smoke. It was all right when it was running slow, but as soon as you punched it, it just clouds of crap came out, and you could smell it burning real rich. I had put a carburetor kit in this thing, and I used the the floats that came in the kit, one of them felt heavier than the other. So I took them out. Oh, I got to put my little jets in there. I guess that'll help start it. But the original floats were much lighter, so I put the old floats back in it, and I set them at just a little over 7/16, tried to get it a little lower. And I'll go ahead and put my needles in, and we'll fire this thing up. Well, I was gone all day, but before I left, I put this timing light on it, and the carburetor worked fine. I could get it down to idle. It wasn't flooding over. Looked like I have about 17 pounds of vacuum. And I got it to run pretty good, and I started playing with the light, trying to get the timing set. And as soon as I'd wrap it up, the timing light just jump all over the place. Part of it might be that I've got all these wires zip tied together and they're cross feeding. I'm not sure what the deal is with any of that, but I never did get the timing right. I just got it where it runs pretty good. I put all my alternator and stuff back on so I pump water in it, but smells a lot better and starts right up. So I've still got a cap and a rotor and stuff coming. I don't think I'll mess with this anymore. I was able to get a bunch of rod here. 3/8 rod was $1 a foot, so I got whole 20 foot. 5/8 flat bar, same thing. And I got me a big piece of stainless here. This was kind of expensive, $4 a pound. I'm going to use that to, I also got my transmission cover came today, but I'm going to use this stainless to make the patches go around that. I'm going to form this window in here with the 3/8, and then whatever little bit of have left here, I'm just going to weld it onto that onto this frame, and I'll be able to get my window in. So I got plenty to do. Motor seems to be on the right path, replacing those floats and putting the old needles and jets back in it. The only thing I really got out of that kit was a handful of little gaskets. Wasn't very efficient, but got plenty of work here to do to make this window, and just move it along. Well, good morning. It's the wifey's day off, and said it was going to snow yesterday. This is across our little backyard, but it snowed today, quit. And we got about an inch out there, I guess. I'm kind of glad to see it, mostly because I haven't seen snow in a long time. But it's melting on the road, but on the grass and stuff it's still snow. And I've got my little truck here in the warm, sitting here in front of a heater, so much better than what I had in Vallejo. Project's coming along, but I just thought I'd show you the environment. It's just about freezing out here, I guess, about 32.
but good enough. And got me a warm, dry shop. At least it's dry. So I'm really pleased about our move here to Oregon.
Here's Nastia cleaning up the yard. I'll work on metal. Well, I cut a couple pieces of 3/8 rod, stuck in there to see where it was going to bring the window. There's one up in the top, and there's two down in here on the bottom where that tape is. But it looks like that if I put this rod right in here, I can weld this windshield frame to the center of the rod, and that way the rods are going to set in here in this little channel right at the lower end, and that should make me straight. I'm pretty good up here, so the rod is what's going to be contacting all the way around. I don't know what it's going to look like from the inside. It looks like it's covering it up pretty good. But that's the first thing, is to make me a frame to do this bottom half of the window. And I'll have to form it to fit the windshield frame, and then I'll tack it onto the round rod frame I've got, put it right in the middle, maybe a little bit on that side of the middle. Don't really have any light in here at the moment, but that'll leave me a little room. You can see the windshield frame is right at the bottom of the corner of the window on both sides, and right there in the middle it's 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch above. So if I run my rod all the way across here, I should be able to make a pretty good frame that'll fit inside this inside the pickup. It'll basically be the same shape as that bottom half I've got over there, but that's what I'm going to do. Make a round rod frame. It'll be fairly easy to bend at, and then we'll get it made and tack it, see what it looks like. I got my little 3/8 rod bent. It was real close, but what I did was clamp it into the truck frame. I've got it pretty good all the way around here, and I'm gonna spot weld this to the truck. I can cut that off there with a little cutoff wheel. But anyway, that'll make sure that my round rod is going to fit snugly into the truck, and then I'm going to weld it right here. I'll weld this right in the center of the round rod. Hopefully that'll make it stiff enough to hold. It was real close. It didn't take much pressure to pull this thing in, but I'm hoping that the welding will make it fit a little tighter. And I probably ought to do the top piece the exact same way. Once I weld it in, I'll have a look at it and see what it looks like, and then I'll probably make the top one, tack it in, and then I can tell where I'm going to weld this. I don't want to weld this one on the bottom, take it off, and then not have enough room on the top. So I'm going to leave a little room to grind it in the middle there if I have to. Anyway, so I'll get it welded up. We'll see what it looks like. Well, overall that wasn't too bad. Got it matching good here. I had a little bend in it right there, so I cut my tack, and I was able to hammer it down. But the basically looks real good. It's fitting the curve. I got a little bit of a gap right there, but I got this part straight. That's about 3 inches too long. I got to cut it off, but it fit real good into the body. I don't know if you can see it along there. That's a real straight line. Plenty good to fill it with silicone when I put the frame in. Next thing is try to put this window up here and see where I'm gonna, how close I'm gonna get to the middle of that rod. Bring it back when I got it up. Well, it didn't fit very good behind it. Right on top of it, it would hit here in the corners and leave a big gap in the middle. But I set this on top of the rod, and it looks like that's going to work out pretty good. I've got quite a bit of gap up there in the top, but I can take my sheet metal and just butt weld this, or maybe even, but anyway, I can make a patch for this piece, and I'll just have a little weld right here. I can grind this off. All this got to be ground anyway, and that way it'll hold my round rod. Looks like there's a pretty good gap right here, but there's really not too much, because this is at the center of the rod here about, and it's going up away from it. But I can fill that up. Just take my time and spot it. I can fill that up and make it fit that windshield. And like I said, I got a pretty good gap up here, but I'm pretty sure that round rod will fit right in here. I don't have a little piece cut offhand. I've got one, but it's holding it up. Thought I had another little piece somewhere. Here's 3/8. Yeah, that's 3/8. And I think that'll be just fine. It's fitting into the, there's a hinge hole there. No, it's just a shadow. But this one I could weld in the middle, Let me see if I can pull that out a little. All right, there it is, halfway down in there. And I don't know if you can see that. Not really. But it's getting away from the, I've got 1/4 of an inch there. I could weld it to the edge of that rod. The other thing is to put it up higher. Put it up higher like that. This gives me a little closer match to the roof. And I could get a seal in there. The other thing I can do is raise the whole windshield up. Let me get a screwdriver and see if I can do that. See, down here on the bottom, I've got it covering up half of the rod. I'll just stick a screwdriver in here and twist it. Yeah. See, I can put a little gap right there and set it in the middle of the rod here. Let me do that and see what happens. Well, it doesn't want to hold, but basically if I put this window in the middle of the round rod down here, it'll seal on the round rod on the top. If I put it on the bottom down here, let it set on top of the round rod. So we got it setting on top, means I got not much gap on the bottom, but I think I'll have to put the round rod halfway, weld it in the middle. I've still got just enough room in there to seal. Well, it's a juggle. Either I put it over the round rod down here, not have any gap on the bottom, I leave my gap up at the top, or I fix the gap up at the top and leave this on the bottom. Not exactly sure what I need to do, but anyway, the window's going to go in. It's just a matter of figuring out exactly how I want to do this. This don't look like it's straight. Yeah, it's bent out a little. Oh, I can fix that. Can't get too carried away because we got a flat windshield in there I don't want to break. Anyway, enough for today. I've got enough content for a movie, so like and subscribe, guys, and we'll continue on fabricating this windshield when I come back.